Hey fam, hey, this is Minister Eileen Nicole. How are you guys doing today? We are going to go over some political news because we are the family. We are Christian Israelites, and I think it's imperative. I think it's super important for us to make sure that we have some political understanding of what's happening in our time because politics plays a big part in our livelihoods. That's the point of politics. So we're going to look at this video and let's check out what's because how it stands. Let me just say this. As for me, I am an independent partyist, and what that means is that I'm neither to the left or to the right. I am for the resources being moved from point A to point B. And if this election season I need it to be here so that these resources can be moved, then that's what I'm doing, and vice versa. So as civilian politicians, that's what I am, a civilian politician. Excuse me, as civilian politicians, we have to follow the bag. We have to follow not just the bag, but we have to follow the morality part that is attached to it because as moral as you can be in politics, because you can't just move any way that you want to. David in the Bible, King David found out with Bathsheba. You can't just move any way you want to as a leader in politics or whatever, because it was political for him to move Bathsheba's husband in that front line and for what happened to him happened to him. So, but it still is important that we are stewards and that we are astute in at least civilian politics. We don't have to be incumbents to make political moves. So I think that we should stay on top of what's happening in the news politically. So let's get into that. So this is a video from um, the chair from the GOP. Okay, hold on just a second. And the GOP is going to be she is going to be hold up. That's fine. But let's look at this.
Your party announced that the first Republican debate will be in August in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Will candidates be required to sign a pledge saying that they will support whomever becomes the nominee in order to get on that debate stage?
We haven't put the criteria out, but Act to Pledge will be part of it. It was part of 2016. I think it's kind of a no-brainer, right? If you're going to be on the Republican National Committee debate stage asking voters to support you, you should say, I'm going to support the voters and who they choose as the nominee. As RNC chair, if I said I wouldn't support the Republican nominee, I would be removed from office. I'd be rightly removed. It'd be part of our bylaws, and I would be kicked out as RNC chair. Anybody getting on the Republican National Committee debate stage should be able to say, I will support the will of the voters and the eventual nominee of our party.
I want you to listen to what former President Donald Trump.
Let's just stop right there before we get into that. What she's saying is that you can't be an independent thinker, not like that. But what she's saying is that the Republican National Convention has to move as a unit. They can't just be moving independently because it makes the party unstable, is what she's saying. She runs the party. What she's saying is we have to move as a unit. This is political gold right here, what she's saying. You can't just be, we all have to move. And she's saying that this is going to be a pledge that they're going to be adding to their organization. Okay, so let's look and see what Trump had to say.
Said a couple of weeks ago in an interview with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt on this very topic.
If you're not the nominee, will you support whoever the GOP nominee is? It would depend. I would give you the same answer I gave in 2016 during the debate. It would have to depend on who the nominee was.
So are you prepared to block the former president
Well,
if
he
he doesn't
signed
sign
it in 2016.
I
He
know.
did. Everybody signed it in 2016.
But this is about the here and the now.
Yeah,
He didn't commit to it.
I think they're all going to sign it. I really do. I think the voters are very intent on winning, and they do not want to see a debate stage of people saying, I'm not going to support this guy. I'm not going to support this guy. What they need to say is, I'm going to do everything I can to defeat Joe Biden. And that means supporting the nominee of the Republican Party.
You can't see a scenario where Donald Trump would just skip the debate if he's forced to sign something saying to
I
support
think
others.
they want to be on the debate stage. I think President Trump would like to be on the debate stage. That's what he likes to do. And I expect they'll all be there.
Listen, she already know. She not going to say nothing against Trump. And the reason why is making promises to people all willy-nilly. First of all, that's first of all, as a leader, you can't just be making promises to people like that, especially random promises. Okay, if you are going to making the promises, it needs to be in black and white, and the terms needs to be negotiated. Okay, that's just business. You don't just negotiate. You just don't just say yes and no. That's not the way. That's not the way the game is played at all. And she knows it. That's why she didn't condemn him. She wasn't. You're not going to tie him. Pin him up against the wall. And there's no terms been negotiated. He doesn't know what's in that pledge. And she said he signed it in 2016, so she already know. Like, as long as he reads the pledge, it's really none of your business. But what she's basically essentially saying is that the Republicans is getting ready to move like a unit. Do you hear me? They're about to get ready to move like a unit, and this woman is the one leading them. And she's saying that, listen, we need to get all on one accord here, because we've been getting slaughtered out here. The Democrats won because they all moved unanimously. It wasn't necessarily moving as a unit. They were for a split in time, but what did they do with it? What did they do with what they have now? What they curated? They curated this party. This party's win, right? They all got together and they got this win, right? I'm not a Democrat and I don't vote Democrat. I'm good. I'm good on Democrats. But at the end of the day, the Democrats are in office. They are incumbent right now, mostly by and large, in DC and all over the country. And so what needs to happen is Black people we have to get our resources, we have to submit what we need, and because we're going to bring something to the table. We bring in attention and votes and all of those things. We have influence in this country, so that's a lot, right? Power is power, it's wealth, is influence, and they're getting their power and they're getting their wealth. And if we want to sway influence to a different party, like we did with the Democrats, even though I'm not a Democrat, then we have something there, and that's something powerful. Influence in of itself is something powerful. So we definitely have something to bring to the table. Could we bring more? Yeah, we could always bring more. But at the end of the day, we also need to get our faculties in order, fam. There should be no reason that we don't have a list of demands that we would like at that table when those deals are being negotiated. We should be getting our negotiations in too. We too need our resources moved from point A to point B for the community as a group. All right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I will talk to y'all tomorrow about this, and leave a comment below if you think that the Black community should move as a group in terms of politics. Or do you think that we should all just be unanimous like we've been and keep getting what we've been getting? What do you think? All right, leave your comment below. Bye.